let me expose the biggest contradiction of this government. अभी 2 दिन पहले इंस्टाग्राम में प्रधानमंत्री जी का वीडियो आया, वहां पे उन्होंने फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट की चर्चा की. Sir, the government proudly inaugurated the very first hearing of the so-called fast track court in the NEET paper leak case. They have been telling the country that this amendment will ensure speedy justice through special courts and time-bound trials. But what happened on day one? Kal ki baat hai, sir. The special judge had to adjourn the hearing because no one appeared on behalf of CBI till 10:45 a.m. in the morning to oppose the bail application of the accused. This is the truth of BJP government, sir. Sir, on television, they promise fast-track justice. Inside the courtroom, they cannot even ensure the presence of their own lawyer. If the prosecution itself doesn't show up on the very first day, what confidence should India's student have in this government's promise of speedy justice, sir? Is the question I would like to ask the Treasury benches. Sir, this is exactly our objection to this bill. The problem is not merely the law. The problem is the government's capacity and government's intention to implement it. You can create 10 fast-track courts. But if the investigating agency is absent, if the prosecution is unprepared, if the accountability is missing, then justice continues to be delayed. The government has informed Parliament that it doesn't maintain any data on paper leaks. Imagine, it says it doesn't maintain any data on paper leaks. The government knows how many toilets it has built. They know how many bank accounts exist. They can conveniently use Pegasus to spy on opposition members to keep a track of their phones and messages. How many digital transactions happens every second, but it does not know how many examination papers were leaked. And now let us examine the performance, sir. The fact that we are debating this amendment and discussing this amendment today, 2 years after the main bill was brought in the House, is a testament to the fact that the bill was a complete failure, and every 2 years or 1 year, government needs a new amendment. The government is so competent, then why can't it secure a sealed question paper? You say you can monitor satellites. The government say it can track missiles. The government say it can defend cyberspace. Yet somehow, sir, confidential examination papers seem to be travel faster than the government can detect them. What does it say about the state of affairs of the current government? And then comes the ultimate irony. A government that speaks tirelessly about national security has in some instances reportedly had to resort to extraordinary security arrangements, including military logistics and helicopters being used of Indian armed forces and Indian air forces to transport examination papers. Think about it, sir. Think about it for a moment. If a question paper requires the level of protection normally reserved for matters of national security, what does that tell us about the examination system? It tells us that the problem is no longer the paper. The problem is government's inability to protect it. Chairman, sir, the youth of India did not ask for helicopters. They asked for honesty. They did not ask for empty slogans. They asked to secure their examinations.